All right, guys. Hey, I'm trying to test this live. Um, my name is Ray Ortega, owner of Grata Software, also own Digital Strike, which is rapid deployment of technology for small businesses. And I am here actually testing out my Riverside. So I have a Riverside account, and with that Riverside account, I've been able to do podcasts, things like that, recordings. I did a multi-camera shoot with it just a few weeks ago, just kind of testing it, see how it works. But today, what I'm doing is I'm testing the live feature because I've never actually used it. And so, if you've used Zoom to do your lives, Zoom, if unless you have the Pro account, like the massive account, you're going to get possible top quality is going to be 720p output, which is a lower resolution than full HD. It's HD, but it's a smaller resolution of HD. And the problem with that is that when you want to use those clips in order to edit into actual film or video, whatever it is you're going to do, if you're going to do like clips for social media, all that kind of stuff, you want to have the best possible, highest quality that you can get. So what I'm using Riverside for is I'm trying to see, can I get a much better quality audio and video so that I can use this for social later on. Now, what I do like so far, and this is more of a concept. So the camera I'm using, by the way, is an Osmo Pocket 3. It's a very great, it's an awesome 4K camera. I'm doing the regular landscape mode. I'm not a huge fan of doing the vertical mode, even though social media, that's almost everyone's in vertical mode for TikTok, Instagram, and Reels and things like that, and YouTube Shorts. The thing is, with the landscape view, you can actually use the video for more platforms. Because when I want to crop it to a 9 by 16, which is going to be for TikTok, I can just crop it, right? But I have to capture it in the most highest possible quality that I can. So that's the reason why capturing in full 4K is a better option. Now, I do have a full professional camera, a Canon EOS R5, that I can put up on a tripod and record, and I will eventually. In fact, what I did is when I did my two camera shoot, I did this camera here as the Osmo, and then over here behind my desk, I had to mount the EOS R5, which is also a 4K camera. The EOS R5 can go up to 8K, so it's a prosumer camera for doing video predominantly, not just social video, but doing actual like filmic type videos. Yeah, so that's what I'm here doing. I'm just testing this live. I want to see how it works. I haven't seen the output. There's no way. I guess the one issue I have is there's no way for me to see the results unless I pop in a whole nother. So I'm gonna pop in to YouTube. I'm gonna have to turn on my volume here just so that we don't have feedback. And I want to see what this looks like. I don't even know what it's gonna look like. So I'm gonna go to my channel. There you go. I'm gonna go to my channel. Oh, there it is. All right, so I do have a logo. See, that's the thing on the channel itself, the quality looks like, whoa, let's jump to 1080p on here. It's okay. It's not bad. It could be better if you're watching this. Now the thing is, I don't know if there's a live chat. Is there a chat going on? See, I don't know about that. I don't know if there's a chat feature. I don't see a chat feature. So what I like is that there's a cool panel to the right hand side that I could put on here. I can actually click. If I click, did I click it right? No. Okay. Show. So I can show a link for 20 seconds. I'm actually looking over here on this. I'm looking on the other screen to see if it pops up on the channel itself because I don't see it at all. Unless the delay is so huge. No, well, YouTube doesn't have the link, so that kind of blows. So YouTube, you're not seeing the overlaid text that just popped up on the screen. Now, normally I would use OBS, and I love OBS because you can do a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, actually, it did pop up. So there's about a 30-second delay between what I'm talking about and what's actually showing up on you guys for live. But the link did show up, and is it clickable? That's the question. Nope, not clickable. Oops. It is not clickable. I just messed it up. I just totally messed it up. Okay. Anyways, so that went away. Okay. So then I have this other one. So by the way, I do have a school community where I teach people how to do artificial intelligence. That's really what I do mostly. I teach people how to do artificial intelligence, how to do automation and AI through my Digital Strike Hub program, and that's this program right here. The thing that I really do full time a lot is I own a software engineering company. We help small businesses and medium sized businesses build custom driven software engineering for their business. Basically, when they're building software to optimize their workflows, automate. Even there are AI solutions, but we build very customized solutions for clients. All of our customers are companies that are established with employees and processes and procedures. And the biggest issue they have is there are areas in their business that are bottlenecked, that they're not able to deliver on certain aspects. Like for instance, if they have a very they have a great manufacturing process but not a great sales process, or if they have a great sales process but not a great inventory process, so they're always out of stock. So our job is to go in there, find those bottlenecks, and then figure out how do we build automation systems and AI solutions to be able to speed up those processes or make those processes more efficient so that the business can generate more revenue, take on more customers. And then on top of that, part of that is also there's a cost savings perspective. But lately, these days, it's not much about cost savings because any technology solution you implement is going to add to the cost. But the key is you're paying, $50,000, $100,000 today to get, a million to 10 million to 100 million later. Because the systems don't have to constantly be rebuilt. They're built once and then they're just maintained and managed and then slightly upgraded here and there to get to the higher level. So, but that's what I do as a business. But like I said, I'm doing this live because I wanted to test this for my Digital Strike program because I'm training people on how to do what we do as a business. I'm training people how to do it within their own business. We've realized that over the years that it's become far more expensive for companies to be able to hire a custom software house or whatever. And the problem is going offshore and hiring those at a cheaper price is not really getting the best bang for their buck at the end of the day because they're spending a lot more money on doing things over and over again and having to hire more and more of those teams because they're not hitting deadlines. Things are being done over and over. Like there's a lot of bugs in the system, a lot of technical debt. So all those frustrations are starting to come about to where small businesses are just looking for a solution that's more cost effective, but they can get the same results as like an enterprise company where they have all the teams and all the things, right? Well, that's where AI has definitely made a huge mainstay for those people because now with artificial intelligence, we can build a complete system using artificial intelligence a lot faster, a lot more efficient, and because we have a lot of engineering background to it, we can make sure that it's built the right way and it's built rapidly, right? Because because you take someone who's like a junior level person who doesn't have that much experience building software. Yes, they could use AI to build the software, but they haven't been through all of the things that a company like us has been through. Like we've been at this for over 10 years as a company. I personally have been a software engineer for over 25 years and I built over 250 sorry, not 250, 150 applications in the span of over 10 years. And so I've seen almost every possible aspect of software, like every possible integration, every possible basically everything. Anything that's coming out today that's considered new is not really new. It's been done before 10 times over. There's just a different way of doing the same thing. It's just named differently. But the reality is all of those things have already been done before. So there's no really new ideas. There's just an enhancement on a previous idea. Even artificial intelligence is not a new idea. We did a neural network for a client almost 12 years ago. So we were doing neural networks back then, which is the underlying brain of machine learning, which is ultimately the brain for artificial intelligence. So again, this stuff's been done over and over again, and that's why we focus a lot on helping companies that don't know that and need help with that. We like helping them and making sure that they get the right fit, the right technology, the right whatever it is they need to do that. And so that's our goal. So again, I appreciate if you're watching the live. I'm sorry, I don't really have much content that I'm actually doing in the live today. My live is simply just testing this whole live situation. I'm on YouTube right now, looking at the live, like what the live looks like. I'm really just testing to see what it looks like on all different platforms. Because I like using OBS, but I do have this account with Riverside, and they have been touting that they can do live really, really well. So I figured I'd give it a shot, see what we could get out of it. And if it's good, I mean, there's already certain things that so there's certain things that I'm not 100% sure I like about it yet, but it's probably because I don't know the system that well. So with OBS, what I like to do is I like to create multiple screens, and then I also like to create different shares. So like right now, if I wanted to switch over to my iPad so I could show you like a whiteboard and I can write on it, I guess I would have to log in, using my iPad as a guest into the workspace. So there's like a process there, and that's kind of where that's where my confusion is at, really. Um, like the chat feature is a chat feature for the studio, but I really want to see if there's a like what's the chat for like for anybody who's chatting, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. Like I don't see those. Like I'm not seeing them inside of Riverside, so I can't see that. Um, there's different media that I can deploy, I guess, and then there's different layouts I can do. So yeah, so just going through this thing, man, it's really kind of the one thing is I can't find my live feed inside of Facebook. Oh, there it is. I think that's it. All right, so I found my live feed inside of Facebook. But see, the thing is, there's no comment section. So it's just a straight live feed with no comment section. Like, how am I supposed to interact with people? So I do TikTok lives usually on Saturdays. I wasn't able to do one this Saturday because of the unfortunately someone very close to me passed away a couple weeks ago, and we actually had their funeral and memorial on Saturday. So I wasn't able to do a live. I just wasn't mentally all there for a live. Um, but the but my lives are basically Q and A's for people that are interested in artificial intelligence and automation and how to create solutions for their own businesses, whether they're a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, or whether they're someone that works for a company that is looking to enhance or upskill their knowledge to be good at it. Then that's the purpose of my lives usually. Um, and so and those are usually, like I say, on Saturdays. I do have a Q&A session tonight for the people that are in my school community. So I have a school community. I'm going to test this again. So I do have a school community. It's called Digital Strike Hub, and basically, Digital Strike is the rapid deployment of technology for small businesses. That's what I created that Digital Strike brand was about. Lately, I found that I'm doing more just training and upskilling people on artificial intelligence and automation. So we show not only what artificial intelligence can do, from multiple perspectives, everything from the coding aspect to using things like Lovable, prompting systems, ChatGPT, all that stuff. But we also try to dive into the automation piece of using like N8N or Make or Zapier. But we come from a different perspective. So normal companies that, pardon me, normally a lot of these AI institutions and AI training programs, all that stuff that you see all over school and YouTube and all these different channels, a lot of them are people that have worked in marketing that are consumers of artificial intelligence and the use of it. They're not builders of artificial intelligence. A lot of them don't actually understand the underpinnings and what artificial intelligence can and cannot do. Um, so I can honestly tell you half of their content is incorrect in certain aspects. Like what they're trying to do is correct, is obviously valid, but the way they explain it is incorrect, um, leaving people with a lot of false narratives of what artificial intelligence can actually do. My job as a person who works with companies in building artificial intelligence from scratch and also using the tools as well, my job, I feel like, is to help people understand the reality, and not for the sake of just debunking what other people are saying, because I respect the hustle of all of these people that are jumping out here and trying to make a quick buck off of artificial intelligence. I gotta respect the hustle. I'm an entrepreneur, so I understand it. I just don't like the fact that you're driving people down the wrong path, just because they've never been there. They haven't been in the industry. They don't know where things are going. I mean, these people are like just jumping on a bandwagon and trying to make some money. Where my job is to help companies actually grow and scale and become successful over time. Sometimes it's a long game. It's not a let's do a quick hitter, let's make a crap ton of money right now, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do later, how we're going to pivot later. That platform is just not my. It's just not a platform for me. It's just not what we do. Every company that we've worked with is a long-standing company. Even if they were just new working with us when they first started, today they're either a long-standing company, they've either already sold to an equity firm, they've cashed out, the CEOs have cashed out and have now moved on to the next venture. So there's all that stuff. Um, that's what we focus on. That's our focus. Do you want to build a business? If you want to build a real business that's going to sustain for you and your family, because that's my main focus, is I want to make sure people's families are taken care of, because that's why I built my business. My business is all about taking care of my family. And so I love when entrepreneurs, when I can help them take care of their family, help them create wealth within their family, and then on top of that, create wealth for them in the long run. And so that's always been my focus. And in order to do that, quick hitters don't work. Quick hitters is like you get wealth for this amount of time, and then the next thing you know, those same people are on social media talking about how they've lost everything and they've gone bankrupt and whatever. A lot of times you can tell who these people are because like they'll go away for a little bit because now they have to actually deliver to the customers that they got. And then when they come back, they're like repushing sales, because they just don't have a business model, like a consistent business model. They're just pushing the hype, making money real quick, and then jumping to the next hype. And that's the problem. That's what we're at today. And so that's why my job, I feel like my job is working with CEOs and working with entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and helping them understand how do we build a business that's going to be long term and sustainable. And then even though we might have to move on to the next hype, as far as pivoting, it's still within the business model. It's still adjusting to the business model. We're not shutting down or filing for bankruptcy and then opening up the next hype business and trying to make a crap ton of money as quickly as possible, because it doesn't work. That just doesn't. You can't support a family on that. I don't care what anyone says. If anything, you're going to cause more stress to your family, more stress to your kids, your wife, or if you're the woman running the company and you have a husband or whatever, your significant other, because now it doesn't matter. It's not just a husband and wife anymore. Now there's partners and all this kind of stuff. So I'm just saying that it puts a lot of stress on everybody when you're kind of constantly just seeking hype and trying to make money off of hype. And then the worst part is you find a lot of, if you actually do the research, many of these influencers who basically make a lot of money off the hype cycles, they'll get in trouble with the law because they either didn't pay their taxes because they didn't even think about taxes, or they took money from something that they weren't supposed to, or because they're not thinking like a long-term business person. They're thinking as, I just need to make money really quick, as fast as possible. And really, if you really look at the grand scheme of things, they don't really give a crap about their customers and the people that they're helping. They're not really helping. They're really just trying to build wealth for themselves and not really help anyone else. And so, and I think the people that are the most wealthy, both financially, spiritually, and everything, are the people that help others. They build a business because they wanted to do something for themselves, but then that thing that they want to do for themselves was also to help other people. And so when they focus on helping other people, they make more money. That's just the belief I have, because I come from a family of entrepreneurs, and everybody, got into business originally to make money, but then they started helping others, and they had massive success. So I've had a really great background in family and friends and people, and watching that unfold. So I've just, I've never worked or been around I've been around rich people, but the rich people that I've been around have always helped others. Like that's just been their focus. I've never really, honestly, I'll be dead honest, I've never been around a person, a multimillionaire, that was only in it for themselves. And yes, they love money. Like there's no doubt, everybody loves money. You got to have money in order to not only live, but especially when you're like someone like my father or my uncles who came from Cuba, where they were living a normal life in Cuba, and then Castro came in, nationalized everything, and then took everything from the people that had anything and gave it to the poor. And then ultimately, now all these Cubans that had homes and things like that had to find a place to go. So what they do, they migrated to the United States, the land of opportunity. And so when you see and you watch throughout your life how these people came to this country, realized that like owning your own business, being your own boss was the way to go, and then they worked their tails off. They built their businesses, all different types. And then what happens is they generated a certain amount of success, and because they're appreciative of the fact of the opportunities that they were given, they turn around and they help others. They lift the next person up to try to get them into their cohort, their realm of people that are very successful financially, and spiritually, a lot of them. And so when you see that, when that's where you've been raised, that's what you want to see. And so I've been glad that for most of my life, that's what I've seen. I have not been around rich people that have just had FU money and just didn't care about anyone and just wanted to buy a Lambo, just wanted to buy a mansion or whatever. I have a hard time with that. I have a hard time with that. And it's no offense to them. Anybody could do whatever they want to do with their money. I know one day if I made FU money, yes, I'd probably want to buy a yacht or want to buy, but chances are the first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to be like, hey, who can I help today and where can I put that money? So, um, that's just my personal take on that. So, but yeah, but again, appreciate if you're on this live. Again, there's not much here that I have. I don't have anything prepared, planned, or anything. I'm just talking straight off the cuff, and I'm just reviewing all of the channels that I have this thing going live at. Again, I'm using Riverside, just testing Riverside to see how it works on the whole live situation. The funny thing is, I'm seeing notifications from Lou Gatto, who I worked with at AssistRx years ago. I am seeing your notifications on LinkedIn, which I think is pretty cool. I appreciate you making comments and stuff like that. I don't know what you've commented. You could have said something good or bad. I don't know, but it seemed like you liked the live, so I appreciate that. And yeah, I haven't even checked LinkedIn, so you just reminded me I probably should check LinkedIn and see what the live looks like because I haven't looked at it. And oh, look at that. Thanks for joining our exclusive broadcast. Feel free to share your questions and interact. Oh, that is so cool. Differentiation between building on a fad and using a fad is difference between success and fail. Yeah, Lou. Sorry, I know it's going to be like 30 seconds after you type in your message, but yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? The biggest thing for business. Real businessmen find longevity in the business that they're in. They find ways to grow and expand it. I'm a huge proponent. I don't know if you guys ever saw on the History Channel. There's an amazing it's like they have the Man That Made America or the Brands That Made America. If you watch any of those, um, very highly competitive businessmen back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, around the turn of the Industrial Revolution in the United States, and most of those people were looking for long-term business, like long-term solutions that and then every time they came up with a solution that did very, very well in their business, they were looking for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, but it was all in line to the business model that they had. That's the problem with what we've done with AI and technology in general. We've made it so that anybody off the street now can pretend to be like somebody, and then just push the next fad. And then once that dies out, they're SOL. They didn't build a foundation, right? They built a foundation on sand, and so now that the sand's shifting, now what they have to do, they have to go find another foundation. They have to build a whole nother thing, and that's all well and good. But then at the end of the day, what's the legacy? The legacy is I jumped from business to business to make a crap ton of money for me and did nothing for anybody else. You know, yeah. So, anyways, the and that's one of the things that I think is really important when you're as an entrepreneur. Like that's what you want to be. You want to give back at some point. Like perfect example. I had lunch with one of the leaders of the National Entrepreneurship Center here in Orlando, Florida. It was a great lunch because the lady, her name's Julie, who's been running it. She has been over 20 something years working at a government funded facility trying to get more people to become entrepreneurs and embrace the entrepreneurship journey, to build businesses and add to the economy, because it's a whole circle of things, guys. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to build a business to make money. There's like a cycle with building a business, right? You build a business, you grow it, you have to purchase software, property, you have to buy desks, you have to consume stuff, right, in order to fill in that company. You have to hire people, therefore creating jobs for people. There's a whole cycle of this, and those people, because of the money they're earning from their jobs, is now going out and buying stuff for themselves, whether it be a house, whether it be so everything goes back to business. And I really want to harp on this. Like everything goes back to business. So the government funds a program that helps people start businesses, because the more businesses are there, small businesses, medium-sized businesses, like the more jobs that are created, the more commerce there is in the marketplace. So all of that is all together, right? I'm thankful that I'm in the place where I can help people build businesses. I'm just because I love that. I love business and I love technology. I just happen to be good at both of those. And so I'm not good at anything else. I can't mow you a lawn. I can't draw. I can't like play music, like actually play music. I can't do any of that stuff. But I can help you build a business, right? And I can help you use technology to help make your business better. Those are the two things I'm amazing at. And so I'm very blessed that I get to do that every single day. And when I went and I sat with her about the National Entrepreneurship Center, is because what they want to do is they want to expand into teaching people how to use artificial intelligence and include them into their business. And that is freaking amazing. So they've asked me to be a part of it, and I'm excited because I get to do the thing I love, and I get to give it back to the community and help people build businesses. So I actually volunteer at SCORE, which is right here. We have SCORE Orlando, but there's SCORE in all different areas, and that's what SCORE is. SCORE is a free resource for people that are just starting out, trying to build a business. They don't have the funds or ability to hire coaches and consultants and stuff like that, so they just need help. They just need help from people that know what they're doing. And SCORE was an organization that was created to help those people. They're retired executives, mostly retired executives, and there's some people like me who are still actively building businesses. But we basically are the mentors, and then we mentor people who are trying to build businesses. And we mentor them in all different aspects. How do you license a business? How do you start the business? How do you get insurance? How do you start hiring employees? Or how do you get your first client? How do you do sales? And if you go to score.org, SCORE.org, if you go there, there's webinars, there's classes, there's everything. There's all these things that are at your disposal. If you just don't have the funds to hire a person like myself, who's a consultant, right? And you just don't have those funds, then you can still go there and you can learn how to build a business. My hope is that once you build a business that's successful, profitable, then you have the money to hire coaches and stuff to come in and help you on one-on-one. Then that's where we can come in, right? But you need to have money first. You need cash. You need, business. You need customers, all that stuff. So you need those things first. So go get those things first, right? Don't spend a whole bunch of money on consultants and everything when you're just starting out and you need help. Like, first start building something. Start putting something together. Create a craft or build a craft. Upskill. Again, the reason for my school community that I keep mentioning, the school community is for upskilling. So, and that's literally what I'm teaching people: how to use AI, how to build automation, how to do all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not the person that's teaching you how to build a digital AI agency. I don't understand that. Like, how many AI agencies are there? If you don't know how AI works, like, how are you building an AI agency? Because at some point, your customer is going to be like, "Hey, yeah, thanks for this cool automation AI tool, but now the problem is like we want to sell or we want to go get investment dollars, and they go to a venture capital or angel investor or they go to a bank, and the bank's like, all right, what do you own? Like, what do you own? You don't own anything. Everything's all using SaaS products. You have nothing. You have no value. There's no asset. Any other company can do exactly what you do. All they got to do is reverse engineer what you're doing and then use the same tools to build that. So if you're building an AI agency that's like a marketing agency, I get that, but there's people that are telling you how to build your own AI agency to go out there and sell doing automation and AI for other companies. All well and good. Quick hitter. You'll make a quick buck today, but you're going to go out of business in 6 months, 6 to 12 months, easily, because you're going to have so much competition. Because once everyone figures out how to reverse engineer the system, everyone's going to be doing the same thing. In fact, I was watching a YouTube video on my way in right now where a guy was showing you how to use Claude Opus to create your whole automation system in N8N and then deploy it. And then now you're doing the same thing the 50 million other people are trying to do and earn a quick buck doing right now. So that's why I love being an engineer, because I can look at what you're doing and I can write all of the code to rebuild that very same flow. And then I can go to an investor and say, hey, by the way, ours is proprietary coding or proprietary technology, right? Because I'm going to obviously put in one or two, unique features on there that you can't replicate inside an end-to-end system. And so perfect example. One of our clients, we're building a complete AI solution for them. We reverse engineered N8N. We use the LangChain, which is the actual language that's used to build the N8N agents, and we built them their own proprietary agentic system that's not using N8N. We used N8N to prototype, and then we ended up building it anyways. So Putting spiritually aside being services. Yeah, Lou. Great comments, man. Bringing up this peace and critical thinking, crucial role. Yeah, and so Lou over on LinkedIn was like actually had a great comment. He says by bringing in a business consultant is so important. The experience, expertise, critical thinking, all of that. Yes, absolutely. One of my biggest mistakes, I think, is I went several years without bringing in a mentor, and then I reached a point where I plateaued, my business plateaued, and then I brought in a mentor, and then things just exponentially got greater. And so, and the funny thing is, I'll tell you, the funny thing is even after bringing in a mentor, my company grew. However, the mentor that I had got me to here. So the key is not just bringing in a mentor or bringing in a consultant, but you got to keep enhancing your consultants and your mentors. You got to do the next level. And so you have to find the people based on level. So like if you like, for instance, Score is perfect for if you're starting a business or you're trying to build $100,000 recurring revenue or maybe up to $1 million. But now if you're looking to have a $10 million business, you know, your Score mentor could possibly help you with the day-to-day stuff, but you really need a consultant that has already generated a $10 million, $100 million business because the whole mindset shifts every time you get to each level. I built my company to $1 million. I didn't shift my mindset at $1 million. I kept the same mindset as before I hit $1 million. Then when the economy went down, like right on the election year, we lost 70% of our business because the market changed and I wasn't thinking like the $10 million guy or the $100 million guy. I was still thinking like the $1 million guy. I was running the business. I was running the same business. I didn't change my business model. I didn't adjust my business model. I didn't adjust how I was spending money or how I was investing in marketing or sales or whatever. I kind of just, stuck with what was working, but I never expand. I never said, okay, from now I got to expand this whole concept. I didn't do that, and so now we are back to like almost like starter mode. Like this last year and a half, I'm down to one. I have one employee, I have a couple contractors, and I have two partnership teams that I use. But I'm selling again. I'm literally on the phone selling. I'm talking to customers one to one. Like 2 years ago, I was literally going like flying out from meetings to meetings to meetings, and I had a whole team of people that was doing all the work. And so, but that all shifted because I didn't shift. And so that's a huge lesson that I learned a couple years ago. And so now I have a whole different mindset as to how to run my own business. And so right now we're pivoting. We have several investments and other things. We're creating partnerships that we didn't have before. Like we're doing a whole bunch of things differently than what we did originally. We've actually changed our model. So before we used to just code everything for people, and now we've completely changed it to like, now we're basically consultants, and then we have partnerships, and the partnerships are doing the work, and we're just here working with the clients. So, yep, yeah, Lou's got it, man. He's listening. So I don't know if there's anyone else watching or anywhere, or I don't know if there's anybody else anywhere because the thing is, like I said, the only thing with this whole Riverside Live is I don't get any chats from any other channels at all. So I don't know, like LinkedIn is obvious because I'm getting notifications every time Lou sends puts a message in there. So I don't know why Facebook's frozen. Okay, got that. Yeah, YouTube. Oh, YouTube does have a chat feature, but there's nothing on the chat. That's good. That's fine. I have a tool. By the way, I have a tool I bought probably like 8 years ago. It's a company in it was in Ukraine, but they moved. And this tool has the ability to create um it has the ability to put your live at the top of the search engine. So if I did a lot, so if I'm doing this live, let's say I was going to do a real live, and I wanted to advertise it. Normally, you'd have to do social media posts, or you'd have to go on, Facebook and Google and do search ads or Facebook ads in order to get people to your live. This company, they figured out a way to utilize YouTube's, or sorry, not YouTube's, Google's API for search and leverage the ability to advertise your lives at the top of search engines. So supposedly it's like every time you can use the tool to send a live to the API. And if it has certain keywords, if someone types in those keywords, because Google is trying to promote the YouTube lives more than they're trying to promote anything else. They basically, your live shows up at the top of the search engine if someone types in the keywords that are similar to your live. So what this company did is they showed you how you can make multiple lives and schedule them ahead of time, and all you need is like a video, like a preview video. And because you have to be legit, YouTube won't post it if it's not legit. If they realize you're using it in order just to gain top keyword search tool, keyword search terms, they won't let you post it. They won't let you do it. But if you put like a preview video that is basically promoting the live that's coming up, they'll let you do it. So what this guy showed me, and the tool that he built, where I can go in there and create a whole bunch of lives based on keywords. Say like one's an AI live, one's on YouTube, how to do YouTube videos or whatever. I do those, and I run it through the API. And so if you go on Google search and you start typing a search on there, it'll pop up the live on the top of the search engine. I don't know if this still works today. I wonder if I could share my screen, because that'd be cool if I could do it. Let me see. Let me see if I can share if the screen share works. So I'm gonna go screen. I'm gonna go entire screen, and I'm gonna go to, which one is that? Which screen is that? I think it's this one. Screen 3. All right. All right. So supposedly, if I go AI. So when I do search terms, by the way, I always use the plus symbol. I don't do it like some of you just, everyone teaches you to do search terms like canonical search terms. We just type in learn to use AI. I took a training class with somebody. I took a training class last year with someone who's really amazing at finding things on Google, and they basically say they do everything using the plus. Like there's a certain framework. I can't remember every step. I have it documented somewhere, but essentially it's like, what's the thing that you want to, like, what's the keyword that you want to go after? Where's the location, of the whatever it is you're looking for, um, and then you put in stuff like top, right? And then if I do video and I put live or the word live on there, any one of those, and I hit enter, then it's going to show on the top of the search engine. And so like for instance, like this live, I don't have key terms on here, on this one, but in theory, the top here where it shows YouTube videos, like you would see the live would be there, would be up here. And what's cool is like if you're someone that's like you're competing against all these companies, like we're a software engineering firm, so we're always competing against all these Indian software engineering firms that are spending $50 to $100,000 a month on ads on Google and Facebook. So what it would do is it give you the opportunity to get on top of the search engine. Uh, I wish I could show it to you, but it's because I think this live I don't have a because that's the thing is I don't. It's not. You have to do the live in the tool because you have to add those keywords and everything. Oops, sorry guys, my bad. Let me take the share off. But the trick is to use the tool. I don't know if the tool still exists for the public to purchase. It's a Windows application. I think I still have it on my computer. The Anyways, so what I'll do is I'll do a video where I actually go through the steps, and we'll see if it works. If it works, then I'll post the video. If it doesn't work, then I'll be like, oh well, that was useless. That was useless. So anyway, so I'm gonna stop the live. Thanks for viewing. Um, Thanks for viewing. Sorry, I just some one of the lives disappeared on me. Do 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 do. All right. Sweet. Cool. All right. Well, thanks again. Again, this test, it looks like it worked pretty well. It looks like LinkedIn is probably the biggest response I've gotten. Well, mostly Lou, um, the but Facebook and Google, or Facebook and YouTube, I'll have to see. The thing is, I do TikTok lives again, like I said. The problem with TikTok is they don't have an open API. I mean, they do, but you have to like get permission from TikTok to get an API key in order to be able to do lives to TikTok through a separate platform. They want you to use their platform, which is fine, but it stinks because their platform won't post to other platforms. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do a one to many type situation. I want to send one live platform that's going to send to multiple locations, but I don't want to buy another license because that's the thing is like you could use like Restream and all these things, but you just got to buy another license. I already have like 50 licenses. Like I don't want to buy another license. I just want to use the tools that I currently have and try to see if I can get it done. So, anyways, all right, guys. Thanks, Lou. It was great chatting with you, and yeah, I hope you're doing good and everything's good. And yeah, I missed our Sister X days. But yeah, yeah, stay in touch, man, and hopefully you'll see some more notifications of lives and stuff coming up. So, all right, later.